Hello and welcome to this week's weekly vlog. So I'm back from Majorca. I had a fantastic time. It was so freaking hot, like so hot, and to the point where like I'm okay in heat, but in hot heat it was just too much. It was too much. But it was still incredible. Had a lovely time on the beach, and so we went to the beach the first 2 days in a row, and I had a blast swimming in the Mediterranean. It was so clear and there was fish. Like some of the fish were like this big, swimming around, just looking really like wired. They just swim around you, and it was so incredible. What an incredible experience to swim just in nature. And they weren't bothered by people. There was kids like flapping around in the water and that, and they weren't bothered. So then that was incredible. And the reason why I was going in the sea so much is because I have a bit of a fear of the sea. Like I have recurring nightmares about big uncrested waves like rolling towards me and like carrying me and pulling me out in the current. And so I kind of wanted to overcome that fear a little bit. And last time when we went to Majorca, I did swim out so far that my feet couldn't touch the bottom, and I was just, it was scary but exhilarating, and it felt good, and the sea was so calm, so there weren't any like waves coming towards me. So this time around I was like, you know, every day I want to swim in the Med. I enjoyed it so much, I want to do it every single day, and it's like good exercise and it's tiring. So we went out on the first day with the fish and it was brilliant, and then the second day we went out again, and Ian and I, like I was a kid, like Ian and I were sitting where the waves like break, like, you know, just the small waves, like right on the shallow bit of the beach. So we was just sat there and the waves were like kind of crashing up onto us, and I was laughing because it was going in my mouth and it was really salty. And Ian was pretending to be a weeble, which is one of those things that if you're not from like the era that I'm from, which is like Victorian times, they're like these toys. They look like this. Oh, ignore the swear word on that. It's to encourage me to drink more water, so I have to get something that swears at me so that I remember to do it. So it's kind of like this size, but at the bottom there's like a round like heavy weight, so you could push the top of it and it will always like balance back to normal again. So Ian was pretending to be a weeble in the sea, and the waves were like crashing over and he was like bouncing back as though he was a weeble, and it was fun. It was all fun and games until a jellyfish decided to sting me right in my leg, the top of my leg. So previously when we went to get into the sea, I saw what I thought was a jellyfish, really small, about like that big, like the dome, and with just ridiculously rubbishy, trashy looking brown simple tentacles all the way out, but the way it was like kind of floating on the surface made it look like trash, like plankton. Just made it look like trash, rubbish, sea rubbish. And so I did point it out to Ian. I was like, oh my god, I think that's a jellyfish. And then I saw two more, and I was like, there is no way that's a coincidence that 3 pieces of sea trash can look the same. And it's such a weird look as well, and you could kind of see the little jelly dome. So then when I was sitting in the sea and just like Ian was being the weeble and the waves were coming up, I just suddenly felt, and all I can explain it is like a stinging nettle, like a really nasty stinging nettle, but kind of in a whole area, because every tentacle that hits defensively like stings. And it got in my lap, and as I was like, I sort of felt it and looked down, and I was like, oh no, and I shooed it away stupidly with my hand, so then it like got my fingers as well, which was really annoyingly painful because it's like on a bone. So I kind of jumped up and rushed out of the water, and it like, I'm a wuss when it comes to pain, and the pain levels for me was maybe like a 6 or a 7, so for other people it'd probably be like a 4. But I sort of jumped up and ran out of the sea, and we went and sat down. Straight away my leg came up like when you get stung by stinging nettles. It was all bumpy and red. So Ian went and got some vinegar, put it on. It was absolutely fine. It hurt like consistently for about 20 minutes and then it just went. And then like throughout the day I kept getting these feelings like I was being re-stung again, which was weird, but it wasn't really that big of a deal. It was a really cool experience in my opinion. But then my dad went in and he got stung as well, but he got stung on his wrist where he had like a little cut, and the sting from the tentacles, jellyfish tentacles, reopened the wound, so it was like kind of weeping a little bit when he got out. And he was okay. It was absolutely fine. The only thing, oh, and then when we were sat there, these two like an Asian couple turned up, and oh, they were so adorable. They had a camera like this and they set it up, and they were like taking like cute pictures like with each other and like throwing sand up and then like taking loads of shots as it was like coming down. It was so cute to watch. And then they decided to go into the sea, and they had like all snorkel equipment and stuff like that, so they looked pretty professional, and like the proper kind of half, oh, what are the outfits called, wetsuits, like, but like a half one. The boy had like a half one on, and he went in and I suddenly saw him like going, like playing with his like leg, and then I saw him like looking at his stomach. He's come out of the sea and I could tell that he was fretting and that he was kind of freaking out, and then his girlfriend came out, and within like 5 minutes he'd just up and left, and they just left the beach. So I'm assuming he got stung multiple times. And the thing that annoyed me the most, right, is that they had the green flag up, which means that it's safe to swim, and it wasn't safe to swim. We have jellyfish flags and other types of flags which let you know what's going on with the ocean, with the sea. So they should have had the jellyfish flag up, and I researched it on this site called TripAdvisor. There's been like numerous reports where they won't put the jellyfish flag up because they don't want people to not go and pay and use the sunbeds and stuff like that, and because like the stings aren't necessarily life-threatening from these types of Majorcan jellyfish, they don't put the flag up. That's an assumption. Like, I didn't actually speak to a lifeguard to say like why is the jellyfish flag not up. But it really put me off going in the Med for like the rest of the holiday, and every time we went to the beach all I was doing was sunbathing, and I get so bored sunbathing. I had to go and buy a magazine, and I don't buy magazines. I bought a magazine and I was reading it and just filling my brain full of, actually it was a really good mag. It was to do with Halloween and all stuff like that, which I love, so it's actually a really good read. But yeah, that was my getting stung by a jellyfish experience, which I think is pretty damn cool. I can strike that off my bucket list now. So just to let you know, I am hosting a competition at the moment over on my Twitter, which is @SharmyX. And it's to give away the Captain Cracker's parrot companion in World of Warcraft. I've got 3 EU codes to give away. And all you have to do to enter is bust out your selfie cam in-game and get into the most piratey outfit that you have, do a piratey pose, go to a piratey location, all pirates, all things pirates, and take a snapshot of you in game and post it as a reply in the Twitter post, which I'll link below. There's 3 winners, and as I said, they're EU codes, so they don't work on US accounts. I'm also going to be hosting a second competition next week, and it's to do with the Artitude. I don't know if you've seen with World of Warcraft, they've been posting a lot of really incredible pieces of art, and I'll have 3 poster tubes to give away, 1 from each artist. So there'll be 3 pieces of art from an artist, 1 artist in the tube. I'll have 3 of those to give away. I don't know how I want to do it yet. I need to think about a good way to get people to enter to make it fun and creative. And I'm not sure whether it's going to be on YouTube or Twitter, so it might be worth, if you have Twitter, just dropping me a follow so that you can get involved in that if you're interested in winning a tube of awesome poster art. So yesterday I released an ambient version of Daughter of the Sea, which was just an excerpt. It was the first verse, and I have had lots of requests to extend it. It was already something that I had toyed with the idea of extending it, but I was worried about the momentum of the song and how to keep its luster throughout, because it's all, so the first verse isn't even set to a tempo. So what I'd probably want to do is, when the second verse is introduced, have some drums come in and then set it to a tempo, and then maybe have the very last verse, when she says beware of me, have that without a tempo as well. Anyway, these are just ideas that I was sort of bouncing around in my mind, because I did have a lot of requests to extend it, and I actually really do want to extend it. It's just finding the time to extend it around the other things that I've got, especially after being on holiday. Like, I'm really backdated now. But I think I will. I think I will extend it. So keep an eye out for that. Yesterday I posted the Twitter giveaway, which I mentioned about Captain Crackers, and I handed out all of the rewards for September to my patrons. There's a post on my Twitter as well, so you can go and see all of the stuff that my patrons get that doesn't go anywhere else, doesn't go here on YouTube. It's like it's at least 4 songs a month that don't go on YouTube. And I also went to go and view the house that I'm going to be moving into with Ian and Maggie and Mally. And it was incredible because we got to go with Ian's mum and dad and my dad, and so it was the first time that they'd seen the property, and they're the people that are investing in it to help us be able to purchase it. So it was so much fun and they loved it. So it was like, oh, thank God. And they got to see the fields outside where Maggie and I can go, and it was just it was one of those viewings where you go in there and you think, yes, I'm so pleased that this is the house that we've gone for, because we did do like 10 other viewings, and for the price all of the other houses were just, they weren't good. And we specifically needed end of terrace with like an outside wall that wasn't attached to anything for me to do this and sing and not just think that I'm absolutely mental. I've just realised that I've just read out like 2 days ago and put it in as Tuesday. It's because I'm starting my week on a Wednesday because Ian only went back to work yesterday. So Monday was when we had the viewing and I did all the Patreon rewards and the Twitter giveaway. And then yesterday we had the boiler man come round to try and figure out the poltergeist in our boiler because it's freaking hot. And so I've had to turn the radiators down, and he came around yesterday and he sorted it all out and he said, yeah, this should be fine. The heating's going to come on at 6 AM and 3 PM. That was a big lie, because the ghost got back into the boiler and decided that it wanted the heating to come on much later in the morning, so it was freaking hot as poo this morning. It was very, very hot and very uncomfortable, and for some reason it's been stuck on 23 degrees all day. It's meant to be stuck on 16, so I've had to ring him up and sort of say to him, you know, the ghost is still here, the ghost of the boiler. So he's going to have to come around and sort that out. Now my plans for this week, which are, you know, like when you, as a creative person, you go away on holiday and it's great, and people sort of say, you know, relax, enjoy your holiday, and I think, actually, you know what relaxes me is being creative. So when I'm away for a week and I can't necessarily be as creative as I normally would be, sometimes that's not relaxing. So for me to come back and have all of my stuff, my microphone, my keyboard, you know, my things that allow me to pour my emotions into them, I feel very relaxed now. I feel maybe more relaxed than when I was on holiday, and I have so much inspiration now, which is a great reason to go on holiday. It stifles your creativeness, but it gets the inspiration and the motivational juices flowing. Oh my God, and I'll have to put a clip in. The last time we went to Majorca, that we saw a guy playing classical guitar, and he was hands down like incredible, and we just caught the end of him on the last holiday. Anyway, we was walking down the Palencia pier bit, and he was playing in this restaurant that we've been to many times before, and we decided to pull up a chair and sit and listen. We got like an hour's worth, hour and a half of performance from him for free. We had like one drink, and by the end of it the whole place was rammed, and we were so lucky that we had seats, and he was incredible. His name is Mariano Miranda, I think, and we got his CD. He's incredible, absolutely incredible. I was like pretty much tears behind my eyes the whole time I was listening to him, because his talent and his expression and his technicality was so merged so perfectly and harmoniously. It was something so incredible to witness. And I managed to, there was one song that he played that really touched me, and I didn't have my phone ready in time to record it. But then he went through the song, and luckily he played the same bit at the start that got me at the end, so I've recorded it and I'll put it in here so you can listen to it. So back to things that I want to be sort of cracking on with this week. I need to go through my YouTube comments. I feel like I haven't connected with you guys for a long time, so I'm going to go through and check all of those and catch up with you. And Jay the Bard has a group collab project going on at the moment, which I'm hoping to get to be a part of, and I'm hoping to work on that this week. And I'm excited to see how it turns out. There's also a new, well, it's a parody, but it's like it's not a parody because it's not funny. It's a parody of a song but not funny. And it's a World of Warcraft one, and it's the guy that wrote Running with the Gnomes. So it's going to be a similar song to that. And then I kind of want to sort of put the feelers out for the full version of Daughter of the Sea, the ambient version, and see where I go with that. But I've rambled a lot this vlog, but that's because I had a lot of things to tell you, and I also had a coffee. I had a caffeinated coffee, and this is the effect that caffeine has, is I talk a lot. Anyway, I hope you've all had a fantastic fortnight, and I will see you next Monday for the weekly vlog. I did just look at my planner though and notice that it was the 1st on Monday, so I'm due a Q&A as well, so I might either record that after this. Probably not, because I want to record a song, and singing is more important than vlogging in my opinion. So I'll probably do it next. It'll be late. It'll be next week. But anyway, have a fantastic day, a fantastic week. May the loot be with you. It's raid day. Have a fantastic raid night, and I will see you next Monday. Bye!